that
I was in the
right?
first group
Wow.
of individuals who became certified trainers, speakers, and coaches under his program. And so we execute and implement his programs on the leadership from a leadership training side and coaching side.
Now, before we get into Author's Day, where we talk about your being an author and some of the writing that you have done, let's make sure that we let our listeners know a couple of times how they can get in touch with Tamika Williamson and avail themselves of your services.
Well, the first way they can get in touch with me, they can find me on the internet, and they can find me at www.myowncollegecoach.com.
Wow, great.
So it's very easy to remember.
Yes.
MyOwncollegecoach.com.
Now, when you say that right away, that lets us know what this is about. At what age can I take advantage of your services? What age does it start?
One of the things that's part of my mission is to change the paradigm of thinking.
Yes.
And that's around the age to start at. I say start at middle school. That's
Ooh.
where I built my book off of, starting at the middle school age. But you really should start at kindergarten.
Yes.
You should start a lot earlier.
Yes.
But I know we have to we have to bite the elephant off one bite at a time.
Yes.
Everybody's mindset is around junior year, senior year of high school, and that's far too late. So we're going to give them a little bit to work with. Start at middle school. If you start at middle school, I think you'll be okay.
Let me remind those who are listening that this is the last mile of the way on Gospel 1590 KPRT. KPRT.com. My name is Carl Boyd. I'm your host Monday through Friday on the last mile of the way, 3 until 3:30 p.m. with your announcer and dream keeper, Jeanette Bush. Today is Thursday. It is Author's Day, and we have a very distinguished author with us today who happens to be a Kansas Citian. Her name is Tamika Williamson. And when you think about something as specific as myowncollegecoach.com, obviously that brings to mind that if I want to matriculate successfully, then I would need someone like you. But you go beyond the college admissions, the college classrooms, but let us keep in mind that you can take a business and make it more efficient than it has ever been. When you look around at businesses, typically, what are the kinds of things that you discover that we overlook that might be very simple, but that we just don't employ in making our businesses better?
What I'm seeing now,
Yes,
in this tumultuous
yes,
environment of employment, businesses are losing sight of their most valuable asset, and that's their human resources,
Yes.
their people.
praise God.
And losing sight of your people will eventually hurt businesses in the long run. We have to be careful not to focus so much on the dollar,
All
because
right.
you have people who help you make that dollar.
That's right.
And once you lose sight of those individuals and you don't appreciate them, then you're going to affect the morale, the productivity, and it just goes on and on. It's like a domino effect. Once those things starts to go down, then that eventually will start costing you money.
Well, let me say to those who are listening that you are listening to Tamika Williamson. Yes, that Tamika whom you knew before she pledged the Delta Sigma Theta representatives. That Tamika who was in high school in Kansas City, Missouri, and is now helping those who are graduating to be successful as they continue on. And by the way, Tamika Williamson, you would be proud of young people at Benjamin Banneker Charter Academy of Technology, because you talked about the technology and starting when you're in kindergarten. And they have their junior first Lego League
Ooh,
competitors,
that is great.
world grades K through 3, going to St. Louis to participate in the World Expo. We're going to be talking more about that, but let us let Tamika Williamson tell us about your book on preparing for college and whatever your writings might be.
Well, the first book is A Road to Success. It's the College Preparatory and Planning Guide. And it's a project that God gave me.
Praise
and
the Lord.
really, the purpose of the book was to help make the path easier for those who follow me. Me going to college was, it was a learning journey.
Yes.
You know, my parents were hardworking, blue-collar workers, but they didn't know how to help me get to college.
All
They
right.
supported everything that I wanted to
Okay.
do, but they didn't know
Yeah.
how to guide me
Yes.
and coach me along that way. And so a good part of that process I had to learn on my own.
All right.
And I wanted to make sure that the young people who follow me didn't have to have the same struggles that I had. And also, I want to break that curse that I call it, or the
Yes.
state of bondage of us graduating with student loan debt. Because now student loan
Yes.
debt has surpassed the credit card debt in this country.
Is that right?
And we have to put our kids in position where when they leave high school, that they're on a path of success and not be on a path of bondage. When we graduate from college and we have student loan debt, that's a sense of bondage, because it can
Absolutely.
limit how you move forward in terms of getting a house, getting a car, investing, saving money. Breaking those financial bondages is something that I'm really passionate about. So it's really driven to just trying to break the cycle.
Now, A Road to Success, the College Preparatory Planning Guide, should be purchased by whom?
Parents,
Yes.
educators,
All
youth
right.
leaders, schools.
Absolutely.
I'm finalizing the workbook now to go with it to help give those who teach and
Yes.
those who are more at an administrative level, so that way they have a guide on how to teach using the book.
Now, as it relates to using the book and looking at preparation for college, once again, when we use your book to help others, how far do we reach down or back to start preparing young people as far as your book is concerned?
You can start earlier than middle school. There are some things in the book that you can have the students start doing.
Yes.
One of the things I spoke to a group of parents about a few weeks ago, and something as simple as giving your child maybe an assignment of 3 hours a week
Yes.
to work on maybe building their vocabulary. Have them read from the dictionary and the thesauruses, and read a book outside of the core curriculum at school
Exactly.
to build their vocabulary, so you start preparing them for the standardized tests.
You know, I saw a statistic, and I think it was something like 5, but I know it was less than 10% of adults after graduating from high school finish a book.
Wow.
Less than 10% of adults after graduating high school finish another book. So that when we talk about A Road to Success and we're talking about the College Preparatory and Planning Guide, please contact Tamika Williamson, my own collegecoach.com, www.myowncollegecoach.com. I love that. But we also want businesses to contact Tamika Williamson as well. Same place?
Yes, the same place, and they'll see all the leadership curriculum that's there. Also deal with coming in and helping them look at their processes and look at their operations, because sometimes when you're looking at something for so long, you don't spot the errors and you don't see the gaps and the opportunities.
Yes.
When you get an independent eye, that's why it's important for us to get audits on the accounting side to help
Absolutely.
us find mistakes. Well, you have to do the same thing from your operations standpoint.
I like that.
To make
Yes.
sure, am I really maximizing everything that I have? Am I operating at an optimal level? Because there are some areas that can be costing you money, and because you're looking at it every day,
Yes.
you're not going to notice it and you're not going to see it.
And operations audit. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Now, Tamika Williamson, we need a keynote speaker. Is that something Tamika Williamson does?
Yes, it is.
Tamika Williamson, we need an in-service leader. Is that something Tamika Williamson does?
That is.
Tamika Williamson, we need a workshop leader. Can you help us with a workshop?
I can help you with a workshop, from education to leadership to business, mastermind groups.
That is
Whatever.
that is absolutely so good. So now, sometimes you work with a team, sometimes you work independently. How does that go?
It goes pretty well. One of the things, again, with success, you cannot reach success by yourself. It's not.
All
This
right.
is not a space of where you operate solo.
All right.
It requires a team, and it depends on what the task is, on who you partner with.
All right.
And I was talking to a group of students last night, actually at Friendship
Great.
Baptist,
Praise God.
and I talked to them about the importance of building your team
Yes.
and what we would call the law of the inner circle, because you need people to surround you and to help hold you accountable so that they can keep you on track, and you can help each other. It's like iron sharpens iron.
There you go. Now you're going to be here until next week.
Yes.
Are you going to be speaking anywhere else between now and then?
Right now, I don't have any
Okay.
other speaking engagements. I have some book signings. I'll be at Concord
All right.
on Sunday for both of their services, but I don't have
Outstanding.
any speaking engagements right now.
Pastor Ron Lindsay, before Jeanette Bush asks you a question, after you answer a question in 30 seconds or less, I want to find out what Lean Six Sigma Black Belt means. But what you're going to, it's okay. No.
Really, I'm okay.
Oh, are you, tell me about Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. What is that?
Well, in the Six Sigma world, there are different levels.
Yes.
And the lowest level is green belt. Well, they've created another belt, but in the lowest level is green belt. That's the basic level. That's the fundamental level of understanding Six Sigma. And that's really just getting Six Sigma is the most optimal level that a company can operate. But most companies are operating pretty much at a 4 Sigma or a 3 Sigma, and it's like the number of defects
Yes.
in a million occurrences. So 6 Sigma is the most optimal level. And so you have a green belt level, and then you have a black belt level, and then you
Yes.
have a master black belt level.
I see.
So I'm at a black belt level, and black belt level basically allows you to manage other,
Yes.
other green belts and those seeking Six Sigma certification.
That is so exciting. How often do you get an opportunity to come back to Kansas City, Missouri?
Well,
Uh-oh.
not too often.
I
but
see. I know people were very happy to see
I've
you when
tried
they
to
saw you
increase
back home.
my trips now because my grandparents are getting up in age. So
I
come
see.
back more often.
Okay, and if you are asked to appear, you will come back and
Yes.
grace us with your presence.
Always.
We're already at the end of On Thursday with Tamika Williamson, and we only talked about one of your books, which means you have to come back and talk about some more of your writing, the workbook
that.
when you finish it. If you are not in Kansas City, Missouri, we will talk to you by phone from Georgia. And we are so proud that one of our own has so distinguished herself and has come back. Tamika Williamson, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Mr. Boyd. It was so great to see you.
Thank you very much. www.myowncollegecoach.com. Here's your announcer, Jeanette Bush.
Dream Keepers, Last Mile of the Way listeners. Those who are interested in contacting Tamika Williamson may do so at myowncollegecoach.com. If you're interested in speaking engagements or getting a copy of her book, A Road to Success. Now, here's your host, Carl Boyd.
And please never forget that your life is not quite done until you pass the baton. Thank you so much, Tamika Williamson. Our very special guest, Jeanette Bush, is your announcer. Kim Latrice on the board. My name is Carl Boyd, saying, gracious God and wonderful Wanda, I'm on my way home.
Listen, I've been struggling, I've been strained,